Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up the series on the 4th of March 1954, which means the sowing season has just started. As usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about. And to start this video, I want to talk about 3 specific comments that were placed on the previous video, because they are very interesting and they actually raise issues that I want to share with you guys as well. Now, the first one is quite an intriguing one, and this comes from Widowmaker, who's actually been following along with the series on the same map. And what he suggested is that he's found that if you put in the horses and carts into the woodcutting posts, they can perform quite efficiently. So I do like that idea. And the trouble is, I can't remember what vehicles do we need to buy. So what you talk about buying is a couple of 2-horse open hole wagons, and I think I'm going to buy a couple of those because we're going to have to buy them over on the border and send them over there. I think I'll buy 2. And of course, if we come here to the purchase section here, we come in here, and if I go to felled tree capacity, what you'll see is that we could get 3 of these for the price of 1 of these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to buy 1, 2, I'm actually going to buy 3, is just send them up to here. Just put you there as well. And we'll just get them going there. And of course, we're not going to be able to get workers down here at the moment because I've realised that I actually need a bus stop here as well. So we're going to have to build this bus stop before we get that done. That's the first comment out of the way. The second comment is actually very practical, and to be honest, I hadn't really realised that this was an option. And this is from Dimitri R. And what he suggested is that the gravel trucks that I'm sending to the border, I'm going to have to try and find one. I think this is one here, isn't it? Yeah, so this one here, what we can do is if we go click on here, we can get it to load. I think we'll get this one to load coal. And you can add the coal to that route there, like that. And what that means is that the truck that's delivering the gravel to the border can drop the gravel off, then load coal, and then deliver coal to the steel mill. And I think that is going to be quite useful. But what I want to do is I want to do one truck that's looks like my little horses and carts are going to slow things up a little bit. What I want to do is I'm just going to pause here. We're going to put you there, and you can unload iron there, and you can load iron. And what I want to do is just one of each. I mean, it's going to take a little while for these to kind of pick up and go, but I don't want to run too many trucks into here, because if this process starts to slow up a little bit, what will happen is that this will fill up, and then what will happen is the truck will take coal up to here and not load gravel. So we need to get that going there. We've got our mechanical components in, but we do need to finish off these little bits and pieces here, which is going to take a little while. We've also got the storage here that needs to be done. Now, moving on to the final comment. This comes from C Money, and this comment has actually given me the biggest challenge of all, because what he suggested is that if we come up to here, that I could get a very basic rail system going using wood-based railway tracks. Because if you do this, if I just draw a line there, you'll see that we don't need prefabs to actually lay that track. Now, my original plan for this series was to build all the railway infrastructure from scratch, which would mean that, I think this is the one I was going to use as this train yard, which can be used to produce rail vehicles. I'm not going to put it here. I'm just using this as an example. You can see, but it's going to take 192 tons of brick, 64 tons of boards, and 57 tons of steel. And my original idea was to build this, then actually construct or make the rail track laying vehicle, which would then be moved to a track laying yard But of course, to do that, I would have to lay a short section of the wood-based track, and then once we got that up and running, we'll start laying the track, and then I can then possibly create the motor vehicles, because this is the key to what C Money is suggesting, is that we don't build trains, we actually build the motor vehicles. I can't really demonstrate them to you without actually building a depot, but what these are is trucks that actually run on rails. Now, I really do like the idea, but my main concern is it means I've got to change to possibly just building a depot and a rail construction yard. But I think I've got time to think about that, because especially with respect to this part, because I've got a whole list of other things that I need to do. And of course, the first one is, I've already alluded to, is we need to get out here and actually build this bus stop here so that we can get the workers over here. In fact, I think what I'm going to try and do is hook up the here. I can pick up the Zeiss, it's the Zeiss 8s, isn't it? Picking up from the Nicomo bus stop, which is there. Right, I think this is the one that I'm looking for, because that's the knife edge wood stop, which is over here. And what I want to do is start sending this guy out to, well, we're going to have to put him into here first, and you can unload the workforce here. And then we'll take off that one there. We're just going to send you out there, just make sure you're picking up correctly. Yep. And what I want to do is get the workers out here. One, to possibly start cutting some logs. More importantly, if I bring workers out here, they give a bit of a working assist to this area here as well. In fact, I think I'm just going to let the game run a bit faster. We need to keep an eye on the money. So that's the first thing. Now, the next big thing I need to do, and I need to acquire some money for this, is that I do want to replace these two horse-drawn combines with proper harvesters. And I think these are going to cost, let me just see, 7,000 each, because I think this one's the better. I mean, just to give you a comparison, this has got the horse-drawn combine has a top speed of 11 kilometers an hour and a harvesting speed of 9. This one's got a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour and a harvesting speed of 17. And this one, which is slightly more expensive, has got a maximum speed of 19 kilometers an hour and a harvesting speed of 19. And what I would like to do is get 2 of these before the harvesting season starts in July. We're going to have to try and build up a little bit of cash. Electricity problem, yeah. Now, the next thing I want to do is going to be slightly more radical. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this silo 2 down. Because I noticed at the end of the last harvesting season that these silos never really filled up. Mainly because these over here were consuming the crops as fast as they were being harvested. On the positive side, talking about the harvest, is that we do have a few more crops now, considering we're on the 15th of March. So there's a very real possibility we will be able to get through to July. This is very much going to be the focus of this video, is trying to improve our overall performance in this area. And what I would like to do is we're going to get a road cargo office. That's not going to work, is it? It's going to tell me that that was too short. Okay, let's just demolish that. Just put on the wireframe. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a drop there. So what we may have to do is try and just raise this a little bit more, so that hopefully this will get things done. That looks a bit more promising. And then we're gonna connect you up to there. And then what we'll have is a road cargo station here. There's also enough space here for a couple more small distribution offices. Now the next thing I'd like to get out here is a fire station, if we could get one in, because what we just turn off that. We got quite a strong risk of fire here. This is something else that Widowmaker mentioned, that he had one of his playthroughs wrecked by losing a key transformer, and what I want to do is start pushing out this way, but I think really feel the need that I need some fire protection up here. So we're going to come in here, and I don't want to put a big fire station in. I would like to put in, and you've got 3. I mean, could I get that on that corner there? It would be brilliant if I could do that. And you've got there, you need bricks and gravel. I mean, where's my, that's only got 1. I want more than 1. I think let's see if we can kind of shoehorn you on this corner here, like that. And then assign you to here. So you're down to 2 factory connections. Does that mean, why don't you have these factory connections allocated? Yes, you do. So why aren't you sending crews out to... Oh, they're there. They're working very slowly. How we got over here? Got the workforce here. What I need to do is get you assigned to the construction office. We need that built. At the moment, my wagons should be in here somewhere. Where are you? They're in the trees here. So we got the guys cutting out. And I think one of the advantages of having these wagons is that these can work quite happily in the forest, and they're not slowing up other traffic. And what I would like to do is get some workers into there. I think we'll reduce you down to about 10. And how many workers in here? I think we'll get you down to about 10 as well. And we do need to build that. Right, let's get back to what I was doing over here. We got this. I would like to get these built eventually, and more importantly, what I want to do with this season is to see whether I can get any, and more importantly, what I'd like to do is see if I can get a bonus on this season. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna add another field. Because I've taken away a slot, I'm going to put you there. And we'll put you on there as well. And it's going to be a bit of a gamble, and we may take a loss, but it just should be the last field that will be actually sown. And then, as suggested by somebody in a previous video, once I've got the fire station here, we've got the fire coverage. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this second farm online. And then what that should do is extend my ability to create crops. Now, something else I do want to do is start pushing the gravel road out here. And I think we need to do... Why is there... Is that saying that there's infrastructure stop? Well, what? Zoom out. Put the wire frame on. What enough you do that for? Okay, now actually I could push this road out with mud. Like that. Actually, I've just had a thought. If I put a road there and like that, now I've got the rail track down here, and just turn that. I will leave that on for the moment. And what I really need is to get the rail track out through here. So I need to start thinking about planning my track now. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, we'll just zoom out. I think I'd like the track to stay parallel here, just leave that space which I can use. And we'll just push you out there. We're going to need to get around that slight raised area here because I'm outside of the range of construction offices. So, and then if I push this through like that, and then now comes a bit of a dilemma. I say, if for argument's sake we pick up about there. And we run the track up through like that. I would definitely want some form of long range connection there. So we need to connect that up. Just take those out just to keep it tidy. So the question is, do I go over with a road or do I push the track over? My instinct is that because this track's going to be built a lot later, I think what I will do is we're going to take out this section of track here and we're going to go through with the road like this. We're going to push the road out about that far. And because what we're talking about is getting out to here. What I'm thinking is a town somewhere out about here on a par, and this would be our coal mining town. I think what we'll do is we're just going to bring this through, say about there. Oh, so I split the road. That's okay. And then what we'll have to do eventually is, once this is finished, we're going to have to build a small vehicle depot or a small construction office out here that will allow me to do the necessary leveling, put the rail track over here. I think what I am going to do now is we're just going to accept the rail tracks, because it's got to a point now that if I do some work and forget and cancel it, I'll lose all this track layout. We got that there. Right, can I get a vehicle depot? I just press F1. Actually, before we do that, let's just go check here. I mean, the money's holding up. We got this field's done. This one is still sowing. I mean, well, you can see the tractor's actually got over here. We're still only in April. We've managed to get this tractor over here. So the only one that's not finished is this one, which is, what's happened is exactly the same as last time. We've got the workforce sowing the field and the tractor coming the other way. So it looks like we're going to get all the sowing done before the middle of April, which is really good. And let me just get back over here. And we've now got the bus stop here. What we're going to do is change you to the bus stop here. And what should happen, so we're going to remove you. Just confused him. We'll call you Nakoma Coal Stop Bus Stop. You got that there. Got 61 tons of crops in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add you to here, and you're going to pick up coal. So in the event of this going up here, if we get coal here that's worth picking up, these guys will come and do it. Right, back over here. You're storing a little bit of steel. We're going to limit the amount, maybe not to 2 tons though. I'm just going to kind of knock out. Now the reason I'm doing this is so that I can balance the thing, although the amount of storage in here is going to be quite limited. And what we should be able to do is get a workforce in here. We've now got 3 tons, and what I'm quite happy at the moment is for this to kind of fill up with the mechanical components. And what we're going to do is come here. We've got 3.8 tons of mechanical components, and we're going to stop importing them now, which I should have done. And we don't need that anymore, because the electronic components come in from here. Actually, who imports electronic components now? I think I've just made a bit of a mistake. Oh, I actually suspended the electronic components, didn't I? So this needs to go back as unload electronic components. What we're going to do is just consume the... Oh, we got a food truck going up to here, village storehouse. Why are you... Imbeciles put food in here, 0.5 of a ton. Hate it when the game does that. So we've got mechanical components here, and that means that what I can do now... Oh, these guys are completely out of work. I want that built first. And then our next job is to start trying to complete in this conveyor belt system. We're now producing coal. And I think our little wagons are working quite well here, actually. And what that should do is this extra coal supply should keep this going a little bit more efficiently. We need to get this built with some steel. And what I want to do is just let this fill up. Reduce the workforce here as well, right down to 5. Because this is... I mean, I'm not going to be exporting the components. What I want is just to have enough components in here so that now we've got this built up, what should happen is we should start acquiring some steel. 0.61 tons of steel. Now the question is, do I put the collection point for the trucks onto here? I think I will. I'm going to make that the collection point for the steel. I thought I'd allocated you for that. And so the next job is to start trying to build in all these conveyors so that we can make things a little bit more efficient. Now, dwelling wise over here, wow, what I'd like to do is move out some of the people from these dwellings. Let me just see. Got 33. You're full. And the population is growing, but not as fast as I would have liked. I think what we'll do is we'll pick the population from here and send them completely over to there, and then knock this building down. And just kind of tidy up that bit there. And I've actually got a sports club here, so I think we'll allocate you to that as well. I think we've got a bit of a sports problem here as well, because everyone's not as happy as they should be. This is finished. This is absolutely awesome. Now we do need to work on the money. If we can get this up to 40,000, then I'll buy the harvester. So we're not going to... I'm just going to try and let the economy run now. and get things going. A nice pile of logs here, building up as well. I think we're starting to kind of get ahead of the curve a little bit now. Just come in here. But eventually we could have 6 of these wagons running here. And of course, another advantage with these wagons is they don't actually consume that much fuel. We're actually getting quite a nice... I mean, this is reasonably efficient in its own way. We are getting levels of steel coming in here now. What I don't want to do is start pushing this too hard. So what I might do is, we got any more towers? Have I finished all the towers here? No, I haven't. So I think we're going to add you that as well, because the towers don't need that much in the way of steel. I think I've accidentally put a train station here, haven't I? A train station? Oops. Right, let's just get over here. We're now building out this way. We've got this road being built here. And I think I can think about either a vehicle depot or a construction office out here. What do we want? I want a really small vehicle depot here that doesn't take much. The alternative is that I go for a construction office and use this one here, because all it's going to do is hold an excavator and a bulldozer so that I can do the leveling out here and planning. I mean, I'm not going to send anything. I think actually what we're going to do is we're just going to build this. It's a little bit of a cheat, but I think I can. In fact, I'm not even going to put a proper road on it. So we're going to come here and just hook you up there. And what we're going to do is I'll put both of them onto this here. This is very much just a temporary building. Allow me to come out here, do any leveling in this area. More importantly, sort out this rail bridge here, which is kind of annoying me a little bit. In fact, it's probably going to interfere with this, but okay. So things are going kind of well in the polite term. And then if we can get this working, this will speed up the unloading onto here. What have we got here? Still not really picking up. I think the problem is this heating plant is a bit of a problem. I think in the long term, when I do provide proper heating to this area, I think what I will be doing is, how can you say, is actually putting a coal-fired plant in here. Because we got this out here, we've got a large aggregate, got this here, and of course the next thing I really need to do is start thinking about the gravel loading section here. But that will be in the long term. I don't think I really need this storage at the moment, or maybe I do. I know this guy will be consuming a lot of logs on a regular basis. I've got a little bit of unemployment, but I think the advantage of having these types of buildings close by means that any unemployment should be able to drift into these buildings. Crops, so we're down to 85 tons of crops, but in theory our gas stations should be full. And we're right in May, so we're pretty good. We've still got 314 tons of... I think what I will do is I'm going to buy a combine. We're just going to come here. I'm going to sell you to give you back a very small amount of cash, because it's going to take me a little while to get the combines out there. Let me see. Harvesting. I'm just going to go for one of you. And we're going to send you there. I think getting the good harvesters out here is going to be the key to the long-term growth. Actually, it's quite cool, actually. I must admit, just going to pause. Now, to be completely honest, I am really impressed with the quality of modding in this game, and I take my hat off because, to be honest, I can't do it. I can knock out a custom map, but there's no way I can do this level of detail and work. It's going to be the modding community that's going to really create the long-term durability of this game and make it into an absolutely fantastic game. So again, big thank you to all you modders out there who put so much of your own personal time and effort into producing such good quality vehicles and buildings and all the other ideas that you go. I mean, you're really starting to push the boundary of the game. The only other thing I would say is that I think that the devs do need to look at some of the work the modders are doing and then consider possibly integrating them into the game itself. Let's put some more trees in. Here we can put the trees around here just to keep everything nice and dense. There. Putting this in. Because we are going to be very much a timber-based industry at the moment. What are we doing over here? So we're not actually drawing down on those components at the moment. We will need to keep an eye on the... Okay, so what we need to now... So there's no mechanical components, so what we're going to have to do now is mech components there. Now this is where things could get a little bit sticky with respect to the fact that we're having this steel mill produce both steel and mech components. We need 1.9, so this will then kind of finish off this area here. And this is the reason why I don't really want to push this area too hard. We're just going to have to work on it over a period of time. How's this going here? Because I don't really want to import steel unless I have to. I mean, of course, we've got this building here that needs a little bit of work done on it as well. I don't think we... How's the accommodation situation here? Because I want to get a little bit ahead with the accommodation as well. In fact, I think I will... Oh, that reminds me. Now that actually reminds me. I just want to show you guys this as well. If we come to residential and we go here, this is a new mod by Novu, and of course the game has decided to hide it from me. We are on residential, aren't we? Yeah. He's actually added a new building here called the Frontier Hall, and I'll see if I can put it in here. I know some of you guys are saying, why are you building this in here? I just want to show it to you. Where is it? It's here, so we're just going to drop it in here because I think it will fit. I know that, of course, what would happen? I mean, I think it only takes about 50 people, but it's quite an impressive building. And again, we're just going to... I think we're just going to put this in for the fun of it. And we'll have to get these guys to do the building. We can hook that up there. Has it got any footpaths? Yes, it's got a footpath out that way. I think we could probably put up a little bit of a back door on it, right? And again, we'll have to go this way. Put the Nakoma road crew on it. Wouldn't mind finishing off some of these roads as well. I think we're just fill that bit in as well. I'd like to fill this section in. In fact, I think we're... Drop that in there. It's 2 sections. I don't think... Road crews here. We're back to 34,000. Oh, nice there. Yeah, it's taken a little while to haul out the gravel out to here. Get this laid. I mean, eventually we're going to have to actually build a construction office out here to get the town connection. I think if I can get more crop production, which means we can get enough crops to get us through the year, one that will support the expanding population, and two, it will mean that we'll start making a little bit more profit with respect to the how can you say, the overall, and that will also mean that I'll be making a bit more profit with respect to the overall community, and then that will be able to finance and drive out our advancement that way. So if I can get these conveyors built in, that means that the trucks that I'm using to deliver to here can be put on delivering more quarried stone, because I don't think, yeah, I mean, we're kind of holding around 200 tons of gravel at the moment. So this is going quite well. Let me just see. We need about 10 tons of steel in here. Yeah, so just gonna have to keep. This guy's got 3 tons of. I think we're gonna just discard you so you can go out and keep delivering the coal. Otherwise, you're just not being efficient. We're just gonna fill this gap in here. How's my farms? Well, we're getting a little bit of livestock. Actually, how is my economy going? We did last month. We made 6,000 last month. So far we made 14,000 on the year. Of course, I bought the vehicle for 332. I sold it, didn't I? But I spent 6,000, so we're not doing bad considering the fact that I bought a harvester and we're only 600 down. In fact, there's a very real possibility we'll actually turn a profit on this month. So how's the exports? So of course the big one is alcohol. That's the core by profit margin, and of course that will dry up probably in another month. So we're gonna have to be a bit careful there. Getting bricks, getting some meat. Gravel is still doing quite well. So we're kind of in equilibrium at the moment. Quite interestingly. And what are we actually importing now? Just take a quick check. Iron, power, and we import a little bit of crops. I'm not exactly too sure where that came from. Why are we... It's almost like we... Where's that crop import coming from? Oh, it's yeah, I know where it's coming from. It's down here for the fabric factory. That if the fabric factory runs out of crops delivered from the farm, it will import it just to make sure that we've got enough clothes here. And just take a look round and see these are empty. It's good. Pure meat, not access to any sport. Once this is built, we'll be okay. Right, this is now needs to be allocated to these guys as well. So we're just going to build this in so you guys can. Hopefully, we'll get this finished before the end of the video, so you can take a look at what this building actually looks like. It's a pretty neat looking building actually. Meat, spirit. I mean, overall, the population is good. Education-wise, I think we're over the top a little bit at the moment. But what we're probably not getting, let me just check again, is... Yeah, we're not getting the highly educated people. So that could be an issue. So maybe something else we're going to need to think about now is a university. Though the university isn't overloaded, but I've got a feeling that not everyone can get to it. Oh, yes, they can. I don't really need to worry about the university just yet. I think that will just keep it going. Maybe we can... What we got here? The camp gym. What? Well, for some reason the university is on maximum anyway, so that's okay. That's good. So we're just slowly trickling the steel in here. I think probably part of the problem is a lot of the steel is being shipped to here. But then at the end of the day, it swings and roundabouts, to be honest. I mean, we're going to need a lot of steel to put this together. I like these little horses and carts. I mean, they're completely inefficient in the context of the time period, but they're fun to watch. And they actually do seem to be slightly more efficient than the bigger trucks. Maybe they do get out and do more. Actually got quite a... Can I get some more... I got no workforce in here. Yeah, I think we got a bit of a workforce issue, but at the same time, I don't think... What buses do we use to bring out here? And I've got 3 buses here. We've got 3 size 8s and we should get someone up to here to do some bricks. I suppose what I probably do need to do is possibly kind of, how can you say, upgrade my bus to here, so we got even more workers coming out here. Let me see. Yeah, I got lots of people waiting to get to work here. Not really. Right, we've now built our athletics club here. That should kind of give people a bit more enthusiasm in the sport. What's the range on that? Yeah, I mean, we got coverage on most of the area. I mean, what I would like to do is eventually push out a little bit closer here. One of these buildings. In fact, we got here. How far away from all the facilities are you? I mean, he's pretty good. And how far? 302. Part of me says to have another one of these on this side. In fact, I think I will do that as well. Oops. So we're gonna find the old buildings. Corner buildings, row buildings, row buildings. I think these need heating. 4-story. Old 5-story apartment. That's the one, isn't it? I mean, that's it. Would be impressive, but it needs prefabs. Come on, game. Old house 3, old house 4. Needs 65 workers. The trouble is, these are really big for what they are. I mean, no, I mean they just seem to be out of proportion with the overall layout of the. For that, well, they're just a little bit too big. I just write that. I can find it again. Old house 2. That's 10. That's 10. Borough houses. Okay, let me just see if I can find the building again. A little circle commune here. Because I don't know if this actually needs heating. It would be nice to put in a commune. Stop production. Right, what I'm going to do is just find my old building again, and I'll be right back. Old 5-story building. We'll just tuck you in on this corner again, like that. Oh, so we got up to 37,000. I think it's time to. We're in June, and I need to remember to get. So we're going to sell you. Just going to get the 349, and we'll get the other harvester in, because that is going to be very important so that we can get the maximum number of crops for this cycle. Just check, make sure all the fields are allocated. Yep. I mean, it'd be really great if we could get, so you cover all those fields there and you cover everything except those two up there. I doubt very much. We could add another one. We've got this up here. Now, I don't really need to rush to build this. In fact, the important thing is the fire station here, which I've forgotten completely all about. Get you built here. Of course, we got this out here, but this is very much a slow time build as well, because as I say, this is the long-term project of the. So this is just needs 3.2 tons of. I will probably don't need this road just here at the moment. I can come out, and then what I'll do is once this is finished, we'll see if we can give this as a winter job for the crew, and then we can push out. In fact, I know I shouldn't really be doing this, but see if we can. If I can push this through. That's straight enough. That will get me roughly out in line with that coal mine. So this would be the marker road for the site of the new. What we're probably looking at is once this is built, is put a crossroad up to here. Yeah, because we got this here. So what we'll probably do is up down to there, like something like that, and then what we'll have to do is probably build a town on this side, and then what we can have is the infrastructure for from the coal processing coming out across about here. Of course, and what I'm thinking for this town is we're going to go completely no heating. So we're going to build it purely of buildings that don't require heating. So what we possibly could do is use a combination of these buildings and any other buildings that don't need heating. And when I say no heating for the town, I mean no heating to get the initial population out. Once we got the coal mine up and we got a population that can process the coal, then we obviously, because it's next to a coal mine, we're then put in coal-fired heating. That's the idea anyway. It's at these times when you start thinking it would be nice if there was an extra game speed, but I think truthfully in this current situation that would be potentially very dangerous. I just need to kind of pace myself a little bit now with respect to. I think I'm also kind of considering is how much would it cost me for another fire truck. Say I wanted to buy a fire truck, and 7,000. Because what I'm considering is that is putting a fire truck in here, or possibly 2 fire trucks in here, just to try and give a little bit of extra protection for this area with respect to this transformer. Because what we know Makers talked about has made me a little bit nervous, because what he said is absolutely correct, that if I lose this key transformer, my whole economy will be completely wrecked. Even though I've got a windmill and a couple of wind turbines, there's no way they're actually going to be capable. In fact, let's have a look at my overall power supply. Can I build a contingency in? This part of me says possibly put another wind turbine on here, so that maybe we got a little bit of a backup insurance. well, how much did it cost me to put another wind turbine in here? Maybe maybe if we put something that's a bit more powerful. Oops. Maybe if I put something there. The only downside is it's going to need a lot more steel, isn't it? Where if we go for this, actually uses a lot less steel. I think I'm just going to drop another wind turbine in here, and just hook it up with Hardmode there. And of course well, we're not going to build it just yet. I'm just putting this in as an option. What was the... I think we can build the power connection, because that is what we're going to do is just sneak in that and build that. Right, we're now on the 9th of July. You just see none of our farms are there. So what's the food? So we've still got food on July. We're down to 125 tons of crops there. We've got no crops in the warehouse, and we've got no fuel. And one thing I do need to do is get you to unload. Of course, we only got to do the one now because I've flattened the other one, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. Is that building finished yet? We've got 22 tons of boards here. I mean, we're okay for food, we're okay for clothes. A little bit down on culture and sport. Well, we got the culture club is over here, isn't it? It's a little bit out of range of some of what we got over here. Do these guys have issue with culture? No, because I've got the small camp theatre there. So we're kind of just trundling along. How are you guys? Yeah, I think you guys, I think these have got enough to be going on with. I don't really want to push much harder unless I have to. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to possibly put another little horse and cart on there. We've got a little bit of money, so we're gonna buy another harvester. Not harvesting, sorry. Fell trees. Yeah, I think we're going to put another one of these on, because we may need this to be a bit more efficient. We're going to get another one of those on there. This needs 2.3 tons of steel, so steel is still the issue. We can get this finished and get a bit more production going. I just don't want to borrow money. In fact, so we're actually down to 26,000. So I'd really love this loan to run out, because if this loan runs out, just when this loan runs out, what we will do is effectively gain an extra 2,634 rubles a month, which should kind of ease off the losses. But yeah, last month despite buying those vehicles, we are still making a little bit of cash. It's right on the edge, but I think I can keep this in balance so we actually grow. And I think if we can get this hooked up, get more crops coming in, make a bit more profit, and then the focus really has to be on getting out a new town out here, getting this coal production up and running. Even if it's very low level, happiness is low. What's up with you? Yeah, think we just had our first person move into there. Maybe that's not such a nice place for you. Although this is overflowing a little bit. So yeah, maybe we do need to start getting some of these other buildings online. Because, look, sorry, but I think you might be a bit better off in there. In fact, I think these are probably full. So if I move 20 up there, that will create a little bit of slack in this area. Yeah, and then that means that people won't be moving into these just yet. We need 1.9 tons of boards. I really want to show you guys this building before we wind the video up. Right, this is now finished. Your drop-off point for the is now here. I assume we can unload the coal and the iron there. We can remove the steel mill there. And what I need to do now is find the 2 trucks that I sent here. Why are you... Okay. You need to come here. Actually, why are you... Why have I got a free basing truck here? I want you to go there. Oh no, I think I messed up. Well. You go there. Unload there. Remove you. Okay, we'll just get you off there. Right, yeah. Why are you... Well, you can unload there. You can unload the iron. You can remove. Is going on here? What are you? Kind of messed this up a bit, haven't I? Actually, I can fix this because move that. You unload the coal and you remove the steel mill. I think we'll just leave that truck running. Right, we've got the boards being built. This is coming together quite nicely. We got this tower needs 1.1 tons of steel. This is connected. What else have you guys got on the planet? A small fire station, campfire, camp conveyor tower, medium voltage wire, 5-story apartments. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. Where are you? You've done the delivery. What I'm going to do is send you back to there. Cancel that. So we're just going to keep you as a spare truck. I think I've got plenty of trucks now capable of carrying the steel. Right, we're now in August. Harvesters. Oh, look at this. This is what I wanted to see. We've now got all our harvesters here. We've got our workers in here picking up the crops. One's not quite ready. The crop stuff flow in. What we got here. Yeah. So we never actually run out of food. That's great. Getting fuel back, crops back in here. So we're filling up our gas tanks. We never run out of fuel. Completely honest, I'd sooner be scrimping and saving for cash and having enough food and fuel to keep the economy running throughout the year, because eventually the population is going to grow and that's going to have an effect on the overall population. So things are going there. I mean, if we do get a little bit of surplus, I suppose I could sell some food, but very reluctant to do that at the moment. That we got 59 tons of crops here. We've got the coal coming in there, which is offsetting some of our costs. I mean, I would like to get this a bit more efficient, but maybe we'll snick these up a little bit more just to try and get a little bit more out of this, because the population should be growing. We've got workers there, that are going there, and we are, oh, there it is. Now this is the new building that Novu has created, and so it's going to be quite impressive. I think I'm going to leave it there, even though it looks a bit out of character. But you can see it's some really nice detail on it. And I think what I wouldn't mind doing is just going to put in that last bit there. And we'll assign these guys to it as well. This is a bit short. And the other thing I wouldn't mind is some more kind of footpaths here. I think trying to think of the best way to hook these footpaths together. I think if we build a mud footpath through there and then do that and then assign you to that, that will enhance the connection down into this area. I think I'm going to connect that up as well. I don't want the town to go into this area too much. So these, like the shop and that, it's just going to be on the periphery of the town, because eventually what I might be able to want to do is reshape this a little bit, possibly put a food factory in here as well, if we can get the crops going a little bit more efficiently. I'm really starting to like that we're getting lots and lots of crops in. It's going in here, and I've just realized I'm way over time on this video. This is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we're going to carry on trying to get all this built. In fact, I've just noticed that we've now finished the conveyors, so well, we might as well go for we're working a logical order. This is going to take a fair amount of steel and mechanical components, so it's going to take a little while, and then we can build this one, and into here, and then that will get rid of another truck which we can use for another purpose. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.